Pentagon strategist Robert Maginnis joins me now live from the U.S. state of Virginia. Good to have you on the program with us. Ukraine has denied involvement in that attack on a Russian oil depot just across the border from eastern Ukraine. What are your thoughts? Is this a false flag operation on the part of Russia, or do you think Ukraine might be behind it?
Well, I would hope that Ukraine is behind it, but they gain nothing by advertising that they're being successful at really behind the enemy lines, causing a lot of fear, consternation, not far from their own border. And I would hope that Zelensky and his military will continue to poke the bear, as the expression goes, send special operators deeper into Russia to create a chaotic situation that will force the Russians to keep some of their security people out of Ukraine, guarding their main lines of support, and of course their critical infrastructure. If Ukraine keeps this up, if in fact they're behind it, then that's very helpful for their ongoing war.
What do you think about the Ukrainian forces fighting back against the Russian military, which it seems like Russia would have one of the most elite military in the world? Why do you think Ukraine has been able to fight back in such a way?
Well, what we've seen over the last almost 5 weeks is that the Russians were made to be something much larger and more capable than they obviously are. The tactics that they've demonstrated with their tanks has been dismal. Even their EPWs, enemy prisoners of war, and some of the conscripts that are mixed in there have abandoned their weapon systems. This has not been a very impressive Russian military. So I think they were overhyped. The idea that they were going to start this and be completed in several days, which apparently is some of the information they shared with their own troops, has proven to be fatally flawed. And so I would hope that the Ukrainians, who, of course, the West, NATO forces for a long time, certainly since 2014 and the annexation of Crimea, have been training them, equipping them, and they've proven themselves to be very, very good and effective against what we thought initially was going to be a very tough battle.
Yeah, you mentioned the dismal tactics by the Russian military, and we're seeing Russian forces pull back from Kiev, talking about a changing strategy. How embarrassing is this for Russia?
Well, clearly, at least if you believe the media reports, that Putin was not told by his top generals just how bad they were doing. I think the initial campaign plan to go in and to capture Kiev and the strategic strongholds, Kharkiv and Odessa and the like, were totally overblown. They did not anticipate that the Ukrainians were going to fight, much less as valiantly as they obviously have. They had every expectation of taking that down in a week and being celebrated by the Ukrainians, and just the opposite has happened.
Yeah, you kind of alluded to the next question that I want to ask you about Putin being kept in the dark. So do you think that he's not being told the truth about what's happening in Ukraine? And surely at some point he'll find out.
Well, he will find out, and I think at that point heads will roll. Clearly there's an information campaign that's been going on, but I think the real winner here has been the Ukrainian information operations. They, of course, speak Russian. They've been able to infiltrate into Russian domestic economy through social media and other means, and they're really stirring the pot of dissent within Russia. And clearly, I think Mr. Putin is coming to realize that not only has he been misled by his own military, but his people are beginning to stand up and say, this bloody campaign, expensive campaign, something that's ruining the ruble, something that's caused our stock market to tank, something that's taken all these Western companies out. We are suffering as a people. And so he's getting the message. And I think it's going to be tough rowing, as the expression goes, in the near future.
All right, Pentagon strategist Robert Maginnis, thank you.